Okay, folks, let's talk tariffs. Michael Fetland, don't you think that if we're going to have a conversation about tariffs, that we listen to somebody that actually worked with tariffs instead of read something in a book or on Facebook, right? Well, here I am. I was an attorney for a couple of large Texas Fortune 500 companies and negotiated around the world as a contract lawyer. And guess what? It's always involving tariffs. Sometimes and sometimes not, but yeah, it's a global system. A lot of people think, oh, brilliant, he's going to bring back manufacturing jobs to America. I got news for you. There's already 500,000 manufacturing jobs open and begging for people with no people. No Americans qualified to do the work or willing to do the work. So what do you mean? So you're going to try to bring more factories for people that don't want to work? Because frankly, the only ones that, not only ones, but those who do work are the immigrants. And you're trying to run them off because, hey, they're only picking the food that's going on your table. And here's the other thing. Like, for example, cars. 100 years ago, everything was made here. Not in the real world anymore because different countries do different things to make it cheaper. In Detroit, there's a small auto parts guy. And to make this part, whatever the hell it is, for a car, he does something to it, sends it to a Canadian company across the river or lake over there. They do something to it that they're specialized in. Then it goes back. And then they end up putting it in the car. Okay? So part of the process is doing, hey, a little bit here, then Canada, then back, and then da-da. So if you're taxing that all the way back, you're adding costs that are just kind of stupid. It makes it more expensive. There's no sense in it. And if you think that we're going to now suddenly make toys here, what, at minimum wage, people are going to run around, want to make toys. 80% of them are actually made in Canada, right? And here's the thing, my partner just sent me photos of our local Kroger store here in the South Texas, South Houston part of town. Shelves are empty. Here's the thing. Why are you putting a tariff on food imports for food we don't make here? And we'll never make here. We're never gonna, they have a growing season that's almost year round by the equator, guys. And that's where our fruits and veggies and things like that come from. So now you're going to put a tax on that because we don't protect our banana farmers we don't have, and crazy. So what he's done, he's basically, instead of the promise of I'm going to cut your price and eggs and all that, I'm going to make your eggs more expensive, and he's got his people saying, oh wait, that's great, that's going to help us. You can't even fill 500,000 manufacturing jobs now, and you think somehow bringing more factories with people that don't want to work, unless you let in the immigrants, is going to fix anything. And you're paying more for that fantasy land, guys. It makes no sense. I know. I've talked to people. They say, "Oh, I used to work at a factory, and brilliant, guys." But that's not the real world. Google it. We still can't fill the manufacturing jobs we have. Joe Biden actually did it right. He was bringing in the high-tech manufacturing without tariffs for the high-paying jobs. That's what you want. We don't make toys. Who's going to make $7 an hour if sign up for that to make toys? Because they can do it for $4 an hour in China, man. I mean, come on, just get real. Smart. And what Trump is doing is the opposite of smart. Yeah, tariff just EVs from China to protect your local EV market. That's sensible. Taxing everything for, no reason at all in areas that we'll never do is crazy. Suicide and economic malpractice. You're making it more expensive. The opposite of what the president's job is. Michael Fallon, let's talk about this some more later. God, unbelievable. American values, American respect, equality on Facebook. Check it out. This is bizarre times, folks.